Shooting portraits over the last 5 years has taught me so much, even within the practice itself. Having photographed so many different faces, from friends to people out on the street to professional models, I've continued to learn every time somebody has stepped in front of my lens. No matter the situation, shooting portraits comes with a certain level of responsibility. That could be showing them in the best light possible from your respective perspective, creating flattering images, telling a story with integrity, whether it's a creative one or documentary, capturing the essence of who that person is, or even freezing a moment. You know, and I know as photographers, we can speak in more ways than one, but we often do it by making images. So I want to share a tip with you today, one that is most important from my experience shooting portraits. And whether you're first starting out or highly experienced, I think this tip is something that can help you along your journey, something that you can implement today going forward to improve your portrait photography. This tip isn't about cameras, it's not about gear, it's not about that perfect lens or that perfect aperture or any technical aspect that you can do to improve your portraits. Although those things are very important and they can help you in creating a great portrait, and it's good to know how everything functions when you're shooting. This tip is more so an approach when it comes to understanding people. And with portrait photography, people are at the center of that. So here's my tip. The camera should never be a barrier between you and the person you're photographing. Let me explain more. Within portrait photography, I believe it calls for a moment that puts us in a place where we have to get close to the person we're photographing really quickly. Now, this could be in a physical sense, but I'm talking metaphorically. Being a photographer, shooting portraits has allowed me to meet so many amazing, beautiful people inside and out. Shooting portraits forces me to be social. There's an interaction and bond that I believe takes place between yourself, your camera, and the person in front of your lens. Caring about the relationship that forms quickly and focusing on the person, I believe, can result in a fruitful connection. It's always something I'm trying to achieve when I'm shooting portraits. Sometimes I get a lot of time to do that, sometimes I get very little. Whether a shoot is planned or impromptu, I've equated putting people in front of my lens as real moments. The days leading up, on the day or after, there's something inside of me that is moved. There's some sort of connection that takes place, and I believe even without having a camera, that connection could still be formed. But having my camera has been the perfect excuse to interact and meet people. Being someone that's an introverted extrovert, I'm grateful to be able to shoot portraits because it's something that forces me out and allows me to connect with the world. Whether that's through my hobby or profession, shooting portraits is a very vulnerable experience. So what are some actionable steps you can take to implement this tip? Build rapport with the people you're photographing. Genuinely become interested in the people in front of your lens. Remember their name, use their name, address them by their name, find some common ground, have conversation with them on the days leading up to the shoot, on the day, and even after. Maybe there's an opportunity in the future you can shoot them again, and the next time everything will just flow super smoothly. Actively listen, ask questions, bear in mind your body language on the shoot and any nonverbal communication. What's your energy saying, your facial expressions, your eye contact? Are you being attentive to the people in front of your lens? Be personable, be confident. I tend to think generally people operate at a higher level when there's a rapport that's been built. Create a comfortable environment. This falls right in behind building rapport. Rapport building can help create a comfortable environment, but also creating a comfortable environment can be in a physical sense too as well. Whether you're on set or just shooting with someone one-on-one, do they need water? Do they need snacks? Are you going to be shooting for long hours? Tend to them for sure. Do you need to take a break for a second to make sure they're not going to pass out? You know, what are the type of weather, your conditions you're shooting in? All very important factors to think about, because you don't want somebody just passing out on your shoot. I've heard stories about this, or close to someone passing out. Have people feel safe when they're shooting with you. Before you put your hands on anyone that you're shooting with, always ask permission. If you're adjusting their hair, adjusting their clothing, anytime you're putting hands on someone else's body, always ask permission. Direct the person in front of your camera, fill them in on what some of your goals are with the photographs, and allow them some agency too as well in front of your lens. Whether someone is comfortable or not is going to show through your photos. And honestly, I've been on both sides where I've been able to break the ice and sometimes I haven't. I'm always trying my best to connect with the people I'm shooting with, and sometimes that connection happens and sometimes it doesn't. It's important to just keep going, keep pressing on, and just understand that this is something that can happen. As people get more comfortable, they get loose, they start trusting you as a photographer, they start trusting in the creative process, and then they start to show more of that essence that makes them them. Obviously, there are different situations where the tips that I've mentioned can be applied. I found myself in different situations shooting portraits, and it's been super varied, but these are some things that's worked for me. If you have any portrait tips, be sure to drop them down in the comment section. I'd love to hear anything that you have to offer, or let me know if you're going to implement any of these things on your next shoot going forward. Appreciate you guys so much for watching. More to come, more fashion videos, more portrait stuff, some more tips, give you guys a little bit of insight on my process and some things I want to share. So thank you guys so much again. Appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Holla.